Good evening people, and Pavel here again with another video, and this will be my shortest video ever. I always say it never happens. I will try to wrap this up very quickly. This video is about a product by Slick Revolution. Most of you guys who are watching my videos will probably going to be familiar with this product, because if you are watching this video, you most likely searched for Flex E-board or Slick Revolution. For people who are watching my channel for the first time, or people who hear about Slick Revolution wheels for the first time, I will explain very shortly. Slick Revolution is a UK based company, and they have come up with a product which is called Rough Stuff Wheels, and you're looking at the package at the moment. Rough Stuff Wheels is an electric board wheel that is off-road wheel. So it is a 110mm polyurethane wheel with a proper off-road truck-like tire, which is actually a convex design shape. So what it does is, if you are on a hard road, on a tarmac, you're only using the middle of the wheel, and if you get onto the off-road, sand or pebble, anything like that, you're then utilizing the whole entire wheel. This wheel also stops you from falling off the board when you hit a rock or anything like that, because this wheel will crunch over quite a lot of rough surfaces. If you haven't seen my other videos, please take a look. I do go over some quite bad sometimes surfaces. Unfortunately, UK roads are not the best, and you do need something like this to actually overcome the surface of the road. Anyway, this video is not fully just about introduction of the Rough Stuff wheels, but I had to mention these wheels because I do absolutely love these wheels. So the reason why I have taken these awesome Rough Stuff wheels, all-terrain wheels, off my board and installed the 83mm street wheels on my board is because I got the board set up ready for hopefully good weather this weekend, so I can do a comparison video that will cover the difference between the top speed, the battery life and torque of this Flex E board with Rough Stuff wheels compared to the street wheels. I've got quite a lot of videos on the board, and all of them were made with Rough Stuff wheels being on the board, because these are the wheels that came with the board, and I have now, I would say, downgraded to an 83mm. Not fair to the board to say probably downgraded. In my mind it is, because using this board in UK, I go Rough Stuff wheel all day long. But if you are in the area, or using the board in the area where you have perfect good surface, I would actually go for the 83mm street wheel. At least, I'm saying this at the moment after having 2 or 3 rides on the good surface with these wheels. Torque is better, that's the first thing I noticed straight away, and the board is much lower, so it makes you feel much more comfortable on the board when you're closer to the ground. But this is only for now. This is my first impression of these wheels for now. I haven't done any testing on these street wheels at all at the moment. So guys, now after the introduction of the Rough Stuff wheels by Slick Revolution, I'll get to the point and the whole idea of this video originally, but especially subscribers now know that I do get into the quite detail when I do my videos, so only now I'm getting to the original point. So the point I wanted to make on this video is, if you lucky enough and you are the owner of Slick Revolution Flex e-board and you did receive the board with the rough stuff wheels on it, and all of a sudden you decided to go to 83mm street wheels, please do, not a problem at all. You'll have a lot of fun and you feel a lot of differences in certain areas of the board, like torque, like I said before. But please remember one very important thing. If I would put the level, just to use it as a straight line really, across the wheels, and the wheels at the moment are the 83mm street wheels, and if I would have measured the distance, let me just zoom in for a second here. So if I would measure the distance between the wheel itself and the belt and the engine mount, you will get a measurement of 10.5 millimeters. So it's just over 1 centimeter. This is how little this is. And here we go, just to compare, this is to a normal person's finger, pretty much your finger thickness. This is how much space you do have between the wheel, the top of the wheel, and first bracket of the motor. So this is the lowest part of the board, but actually not the wheel. Meaning, if you are on 83mm street wheel, if you go on any rocks, any race surface or anything like that, you will hit the motor mount. You could potentially hit the belt as well. As you can see at the moment, there are some battle marks on the motor mount already on one side and couple of another side, very small ones, but bear in mind that I have used this board with these wheels on only for, let's say, half a charge of the battery. So for about 3.5–4 miles I've used this board with wheels, and that was on a good surface as well, on a street, pretty much on the road. So I didn't go over any massive bumps, but I already managed to catch the motor mount somewhere. So I'll show it from a different angle again. So if you notice, so if this would be the surface of the road, if anything is higher than 10mm and it is between the wheels, for instance, and you're going over it, you could potentially hit the belts or the motor mounts. Okay? So guys, I would like to clarify one thing, that this clearance here of 10mm is not just on Slick Revolution board. This pretty much is the case with most of the electric boards, I would say all of the electric boards out there on the market. This is the way they are. They are meant for a perfect California road, nice and smooth surface. And pretty much that's what you get. Very small clearance, like a sports car, I would say. Would you take sports car off-road? No, you wouldn't. You hit the bumper straight away. So this is what happens with this setup. Street wheels and any electric board, very small clearance. And this is where rough stuff wheels come into play. And here we go, the new players on the field. The beautiful Slick Revolution street tires are off, street wheels are off, and the rough stuff wheels are back on the board. Don't get me wrong, for some people 83mm street wheels would be a better choice. All depends on your application, guys. If you are after higher torque or you're riding the board on a perfect surface, this wheel is for you. Obviously these wheels are bold, they don't have such a high restriction or high restriction like the rough stuff wheels would have. I would say you get better mileage in the battery. It's only an assumption at the moment. Assumption. Please remember, I will be still running the test on these wheels. Hopefully within a week or so I'll come up with a video. So I will tell you if these wheels actually give you extra mileage in the battery. But back to my original point. If you remember, having the street wheels on the Flex E-board gave us a clearance between the wheel or the road and any other part of the board, which is either belt or the motor mount, and we have had measured off of the motor mount. That was 10.5mm, so 1 centimeter, pretty much the thickness of a standard man's finger. So if we would take a measurement now with the rough stuff wheels being on the board, this takes us to 24.5, let's round it up, 24.4, 24.5mm. So it is 2.5 times, or let's say 2 times taller, or 2 times bigger gap that we had with the street wheels. So now, as you can see, instead of 1 finger, 2 fingers. Street wheels, rough stuff wheels. This is the difference on the clearance between anything on the road and the parts of your board, which is belt or the motor mounts. So pretty much twice, and that means the debris or the crack on the road or any uneven surface could be twice higher with the rough stuff wheel, and you get over it easily, than if you're using street wheels. And again, this is not because of the Flex E-board wheels. Street wheels are street wheels. They are the same on most of the boards in the market, but not a lot of the boards on the market have these awesome off-road 110mm rough stuff wheels on them. One thing to mention, the rough stuff wheels do fit other boards, a lot of other boards in the market, so they don't have to be just for the Flex E-board. These could be purchased for any other applications. Obviously contact the company, contact Slick Revolution, ask them if it does fit your particular board. I know for sure that these wheels do fit the Evolve board and pretty much probably most of them out there, and this will give you the off-road capability. Not as good as the Flex E-board, because obviously this board was meant for these wheels, and the belt and the wheel ratios, obviously you got the small little gear at the front and the motor, and the gear here at the back, the sprocket. This was all figured out for this application. But for 80 quid, and yes, you heard me right, these wheels are on sale. These wheels are 80 quid right now. I just checked the website right before I started the video. From £130 down £80 at the moment, so you get 4 wheels for £80 with bearings and everything else. Well, I think it's a deal. They're doing different colors as well, so I was actually thinking about going blue wheels for this board. What do you guys reckon? Any comments at all? You reckon the carbon deck, all blacked out, would look good with blue, orange, red, or should I just keep them black? I do like the black. It looks quite good, settled. But if I want to stand out, what do you reckon, guys? But anyway, hopefully you like this video. It was not as exciting video, but it's another point I wanted to make. Change the wheels, play around the board, but always remember any changes will bring different situations to light. So smaller wheel, lower the board, more comfortable, better feel because you are closer to the ground, higher torque, but the parts of the board are more exposed to damage. As you saw on my board, already scuff marks on the engine mounts, and I was very careful. Anyway, it's Friday, quite late. I wish you a nice weekend, and I speak to you very soon, guys. All the best.